Welcome back, dear viewers. It is Maverick here, and today is Monday, so that means it's time for another episode of Monogatari Mondays. So, as we enter the third episode of the Otorimonogatari arc, in last episode, we just learned a bit more about the essence of who Sengoku is, through her sort of dialogue with the snake aberration that's currently within her. And also with her conversation with Shinobu, right? And I think at the end of it, we can basically come to a conclusion, well, some of what is happening around Sengoku might just actually be her own fault. Well, if you could call it that, right? The term is she's naturally devilish, or as I like to say, bewitching, which is, of course, mostly used with more negative connotations in terms of something like akin to a seductress or whatnot, or just basically, I don't know, you instantly conjure up these images of someone who manipulates people, right? Particularly manipulating men or whatnot. And it's really hard to say, right? Because with Sengoku herself, it's hard to judge whether she dislikes the fact that she's known as this and she feels troubled by it and she wants to do something about it. On the other hand, you could also make the argument that maybe she doesn't feel like this is such a bad situation and she wants to take full advantage of it, right? And of course, there could be arguments for each. I do feel like, though, that probably like most things in life, it's more of a gray line, and it's a little mixture of both. See, I feel like the easiest way to understand this is like looking at society and looking at people who are beautiful or handsome, right? Because, you know, like it or not, society does treat naturally attractive people better than otherwise. Of course, they will be subject to the same sort of jealousy as well from their peers and so on and so forth. But you can't undeniably, it's undoubtedly an advantage in life here, right? And you could say that, okay, I don't really like to be getting like free passes, free stuff, or you know, having smooth sailing through life just because of this sort of natural asset that I have. But at the same time, I've met very few people who don't actually utilize these natural assets. And indeed, you could also argue that, hey, this is something that, you know, it is part of my assets, it is part of my abilities, why shouldn't I use it, right? So you can make arguments for either side. But in any case, let's see what exactly Sengoku thinks, if she is willing to tell, anyways, right in this episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Now, questions instead. Sleeping. Oh, wait, what? Um... Where's Karen? Well, as Shinobu would say, second to her. Oh, okay, never mind. One more. Ah, yeah, see? Hmm. 'Oh, it's because of that? Tasteless. Hey, that scrunchie is cute. You have proof. Ah, good question. Assuming like all this is like it's like Sengoku's imagination. Ah. Oh, wait. No, she knows that, right? I remember she knows that. In fact, could it be because she knows that all this new aberration is happening? Sort of like Hanekawa's case, right? Oh, I love that change there. Jamba 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 jamba. Hmm. Really gonna be kind of funny if oh. Wow. Hmm. I wonder if she's going to actually think. Eh, well, about that, then I think you have more than just this one problem, Tsukihi. Wait, how do you know about that? How do you know about that, Tsukihi? Were you spying on them? Her story does remind me of Hanekawa's in a lot of ways. Hmm? Whoa. That is... Well, you are... But, I mean... Alright. Fight for her bangs! That's how Sengoku is going about it now. It's
それがお前の真の姿だったのか。戦国、この間頼んでいた件はどうなった？あれから何か進展はあったか？
なでこはいつも通り目を伏せてうつむいて黙り込むだけです。そうやって笹藪先生が呆れて立ち去るのを待ちましょう。
not gonna work now.
どうしてなのでしょう。昨日と今日で何か状況が変わって
Because of your bangs?
そんなものなでこのヘアスタイルに決まってます。目を伏せていようとうつむいていようとなでこの顔は笹藪先生から丸見えなのです。表情が見えてしまっていればなでこが言うほど困ってないことがバレてしまうのでした。仕方ありません。それらしい言い訳をしてこの場を切り抜けるとしましょう。まずはいつも通り前髪があろうとなかろうといつも通りにいつものようにごめんなさいから切り出して、あとはその場の流れで。うっせんだよ。あれ、誰か何か言いましたか？進展なんかあるわけねえだろ。俺さ、
What? She has a personality change? Jessica, what?
人のつらみだ、例の件はどうだった、例の件はどうだったって、どうなるもこうなるもねえよ。ゆうちゃんの頼み事だってことはてめえが一番分かってんだろうが。
どうしたんだ？
気安く触ってんじゃねえ。人を何だと思ってんだ、人形か何かか。どうせ俺様は可愛いだけだよ。何を言われたって言われるがままだよ。だけどだからって何も感じてねえわけじゃねえぞ。おとなしいやつが本当におとなしいと思ってんだ。
おい、どうしたんだ戦国さん。落ち着けよ。まあ落ち着けって、お前なんか疲れてるんだって。
落ち着け。落ち着いていた結果がこれだろうが。
What?
見りゃわかんだろうが。
戦国、ただ先生はお前の責任感を信じて。
責任感なんて俺様にあるか。戦国なでこがどれくらいダメなやつかくらいちゃんと見抜け。
So she turned into a Yankee just because of this?
可愛いだけなんだよ。こんなやつ信じてんじゃねえ。
どこへ行くんだ戦国。
決まってんだろうが。仕方ねえから委員長としての仕事ってやつをしてやるんだよ。てめえの言いつけだろうがよ。喜べボケ。
Brack. What the hell?
おい、うぞうむぞ。返事はどうした、うぞうむぞ。いいかお前ら、現実を見ろよ。過ぎたことでいつまでもうじうじとして貴重な青春時代を台無しにしやがって。どんだけ無駄なことをしてるか分かってんのか。お前らは友達だと思ってたやつが自分のことを妬んでたらそれでもう友達じゃなくなるのか。嘘をつかれたらそれで終わりか。適当なところで折り合いをつけねえといつまでもこんな状況が続くんだぞ。だったら塗り替えなきゃダメだろうが、書き換えなきゃダメだろうが。
I gotta. S-
おまじないのせいで誰も信用できなかったけどちゃんと仲直りしましたって思い出によ。ああ、確かにお前たちは最低だ。本音と建前を使い分ける偽善者だ。信じた先から裏切るこの世のクズだ。地球上で最も下等な生き物だ。だけどどっかに本当もあったはずだろうが。嘘だって本当だったかもしれねえだろ。嘘や裏切りや欺瞞や偽善を許してやれる度量を持ちやがれよ。ああ、いつからお前たちは人をえり好みできるほど偉くなったんだ。好き嫌いで人付き合いしてんじゃねえよ。俺様はお前たちなんか大嫌いだ。だけどクラスメイトだぜ、こんちきしょうが。
What?
お待たせしました。どうしたのも。
I mean, her voice doesn't sound anything like her normal self as well. Oh my god. That was epic.
通学路でしたよ、登校時は。あの頃なでこは一体何を気に病んでいたのでしょう。
Just by cutting your hair? Really?
言わずもがなのことを確認させてもらうけどよ、なでこちゃん。別にさっきのはなでこちゃんの体を俺様が操って好き放題言って回ったってわけじゃねえからな。単に俺様と同化した影響が顕著に現れたというか
What even is this? I mean, to me, I don't feel like she looks that different with or without her bangs. But okay. Alright, so it's near Shinobu, maybe? Why are you just able to waltz into Araragi's house, Sengoku? Okay. Or you could just not get into a romance if you don't want to. Hmm. Oh. Arrow books. Oh. I think I just saw a seal. Hmm. Wishing to attain the unachievable, unattainable Araragi Koyomi. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, so we have one episode left, and then apparently they're going to be battling it out? Okay. Oh man, this is a pretty epic episode. Alright, I'll see you guys after this. Man, oh man, this was such a great little episode here, and totally, completely out of the blue with that transition there. Sengoku, who we've always known to be this sort of cute, devilish, kind of cheeky at times, but mostly a timid kind of girl, right? Although surprisingly daring in some aspects, particularly related with Aragi. And then, you know, with just a snip of her hair suddenly transforming into this Yankee sort of girl, being all like, yo, what up, dog? Sengoku in house, man. Oh, that was something, I gotta say. I love that scene, and I actually love what she was saying as well. You know, to be honest, once you do get a little bit older. See, here's the thing here. I do kind of wonder if Monogatari is also supposed to be, in some ways, a coming-of-age anime, right? Coming-of-age works typically talk about how, you know, you deal with some problems during your adolescent phase, and then once you transition out of it, you know, a lot of these things, really what seemed the world to you at that point, isn't really all that, isn't the end of the world, basically. You know, thinking about it, I do kind of feel like it is that. Actually, I think I mentioned this before, right? I think I did mention before that I feel Monogatari is a sort of coming of age, does have coming of age elements in it as well. So we can clearly see that here, right? You know, really, when you think about it, all those things that you were depressed or angry about when your mid-school days and your high school days, a lot of them seem pretty trivial and childish once you actually, you know, get on through life and you realize, hey, that was just, you know, whatever, right? And so I loved what she was doing there, you know, and she basically was like, dude, you guys are, what are you guys doing? Just shut it with all those petty thoughts and petty feelings that you have. Nobody freaking cares. Stop being such a nuisance to everybody else. No, not exactly the best way to go about it, right? There are definitely more mature ways to handle things, but damn, is that satisfying, right? I'll give her that. So it must have felt good for her to finally release with all these bottled up feelings, which brings me to my next point, which is her story is really kind of similar to Hanekawa. Well, I'd say kind of, but it's actually, I feel like it's related with Hanekawa in a lot of ways, right? It's basically talking about the same kind of thing, releasing your true self, speaking your true thoughts, and basically not giving, you know, not giving a shit about being all firm and proper and all that, being nice and so on and so forth, meeting expectations of others, but being true to yourself. Which is, you know, a common aspect of coming of age stories, transitioning from adolescence into adulthood, right? Even though, of course, in Sengoku's case, that's even a little bit more earlier since she's in mid school right now. But yeah, I like that. I like that scene very, very much. That was awesome. With her like just kicking a door in and all. Man, that was great. By the way, guys, which Sengoku do you guys prefer? Bangs or no bangs? See, here's the thing though. I think based on what she was saying and what Tsukihi was saying, she was hiding her face because her face was cute, right? So she tried to hide her face with the bangs. But to be honest, I actually think she looks cuter with the bangs. Of course, without the bangs, it's like another kind of attractiveness as well. But in terms of pure cuteness, personally, I feel like her with bangs is cuter than her without bangs, right? So that's just me. But of course, if this is what it takes to allow us to get this kind of Sengoku and this kind of Sengoku personality, hey, I am all for it. And speaking of which, speaking of the bangs, courtesy of Tsukihi, right? This actually marks the second time when Tsukihi was very integral to an incident happening in this series, right? So we also got this entire thing with Hanekawa as well. Remember back in Kuro Monogatari, or was it Shiro? Well, anyways, kind of forgot, but basically Araki was thinking that he was in love and had an infatuation with Hanekawa, and then basically through talking with his sisters and Tsukihi in particular, this kind of fizzled out, right? And so Araki ended up with Senjugahara instead. So I don't know. That it seems kind of weird to me that Tsukihi has such a big hand in not only that incident, but now in terms of pushing Sengoku over as well. I don't know, is there supposed to be a deeper meaning to all this? Maybe, maybe not, but, you know, we're still only not even halfway along the story, right? So I guess that's just something to keep note of. Okay, and finally, I think in regards to the entire situation in regards to Sengoku, I mean, this episode was pretty straightforward in terms of how they describe things related with Sengoku. And to be honest, I can actually relate to Sengoku very much here. Her sort of thinking through this. I mean, I could be interpreting some things, but I feel like, you know, I can understand this in the same method as, I feel like Tsukihi's analogy with the lottery, was the best example here, right? You buy a lottery ticket so that you can have the the small chance, the minuscule chance. There is still a chance, however minuscule, that you will win the lottery, but you're not counting on it, right? And then also, I can add another thing to that, and which I feel also relates to Sengoku's situation as well, and that is the fact that I do have this sort of tendency where I feel if I don't see the answer, then as far as I'm concerned, it never happened, right? And so in Sengoku's situation, if she doesn't see the answer, she doesn't try to get the answer, well, there's still a chance, so it never happened. And you can extend this to a lot of other things as well, right? Not only buying lotteries, but for instance, if you do a test and you don't see the test results, hey, as far as I'm concerned, I may have passed it, I may not have passed it, I might have gotten good marks, I might have gotten bad marks. It's the Schrodinger's test, right? Simultaneously existing in two states or multiple states at the same time until we actually take a look at the actual test results. Same with anime as well. If there is a final episode that you just don't watch, then as far as you're concerned, this series has never ended yet, right? It's unfinished. It's not ended. So until you finish that very last episode, you can just consider, hey, this is something that's still ongoing. I can still keep my memories going my fond memories of this series continuing forward. It is not over, right? The journey still continues. Something of like that aspect, right? I feel like you can also sort of continue to extrapolate it into a fear of tryharding, right? And what do I mean by this? Once again, Sengoku, in her aspect, she is she feels like she is naturally cute and all that, and that is one of her natural talents, natural assets. But she's afraid that that is all she has, right? I can relate in some sort of way in that I have some natural assets, some natural talents as well, but this does kind of get you into the feeling of you're afraid of tryharding. Why is that the case? Because you can cling onto the idea that if you don't actually try hard, then hey, potentially you could be one of the best, right? You could actually be you could actually do a lot of things. You get praise from people. Oh, you're so good at blah blah blah. Potentially, you could even be like a superstar in whatever area, like a professional or so on and so forth, right? And yeah, of course you recognize that you do have the talent here, but having the talent doesn't necessarily translate to success. You still got to put in the effort there. And if you don't put in the effort, well, you can always cling on to the idea that, hey, yeah, I could totally do that if I wanted to. I just don't want to put in the effort to do so, right? And that is actually quite a dangerous line of thinking here. And it is something that I freely admit I once struggled with as well. And well, I can't really say I've completely gotten over it, but let's just say that I've turned into much more of a realist in terms of this kind of situation of being real with myself and then being real with others as well. So I feel like this also kind of applies to Sengoku, particularly in the quote that, hey, it's your own fault that all you have is cute, right? And I think that in terms of, this is sort of like psychoanalyzing her thinking a little bit, but I feel like she's probably thinking, hey, so I do know that I am cute, I don't want to be only known for my cuteness, but at the same time, what if in the end I can only be known for my cuteness, right? What if in the end I really have nothing other to me than my natural looks, my natural attraction, etc., etc. And so that might also tie into her reluctancy to actually own up to it, right? Own up to saying, yeah, I'm cute, but I'm more than that. I'm going to prove that I have more than that, because hey, if you don't take out the first step, then you won't get hurt, right? So yeah, to be honest, as of right now, she's probably the most relatable character to me out of all the girls and Aragi as well. Well, Oshino also kind of maybe, but he's a little bit too mysterious for me right now. So we'll have to see about that. But definitely, I always hesitate to say this because people have been asking me since the beginning, like, oh, who's gonna be your favorite girl, who's gonna be your wife, and all that, and I'm just like, I don't really do that kind of thing. But honestly, as of right now, just in terms of relatability and whatnot, I have to say Sengoku might be my favorite. As of right now. And she does have an unfair advantage right now because this is her arc, right? So, I'm not saying anything concrete yet, but let's just leave it there for now. So, that was it for episode 14 of the Monogatari series second season, and in the next one, we'll be seeing the grand finale of Otorimonogatari. So, see you guys next week as well, and bye.